guys, it's Valerie Duval, and I'm here with Sid, and this is a really exciting module. It's Module 5 on sales methods. And for those of you who don't know, Sid is probably one of the foremost experts on sales methods. So we're going to go over some good information for you, and just so you know, it's not only going to help you with the methods that we taught you in Lead Driver, this is going to help you in your business, period. So listen up, take good notes, and here we go. Hey, Sid.
Hey, what's happening? I'm excited. I love talking sales. So
awesome.
Let's jump right into it and show everybody. Let's go over a sales overview real quick. Let's talk about ways to contact your client, ways you want to get in front of them, ways to deliver your message, right? Obviously, you can call them by phone. You can walk in. One of the best ways to sell is by referral. That's why you always be asking for them. Wouldn't you agree, Val?
Yep, my favorite. It's easy.
Networking
right?
Group, a lot of you in BNI groups. Some of you are doing email marketing, and then some of you might be using the Savage Siphon, which we've discussed in the past, and or some direct mail to get those clients that are like, hey, man, I need your services, you know. First thing we want to talk about is don't be the guy that goes directly into a sales pitch. You know what I mean? Closers, and I'm going to use that word, closers listen more than they speak. They find out what a person's or a client or a potential client's issue is. They find out what they're looking for, their pains, their wants, their needs, right? Like a needs analysis almost, okay? You listen to what a client is asking for, and then you deliver it with a calculated pitch on what you can deliver. Well, you're going to find a lot of businesses, correct me if I'm wrong here, Val, a lot of businesses are looking for fresh leads. It's a driving force behind a successful entity or a successful business.
It's all they're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even understand what SEO means and why they need mobile. They just want leads.
When it comes down to it, it really is all about leads. And so always make sure when you sit down, plus you know what I found out, Val, and tell me, I know you and I have done some cold calling together and worked on the road together doing some stuff like this. You walk in, you're wound up tight as a rubber band, you know? So sometimes it's easier to sit back and ask questions and let the person talk about themselves, right? Which everybody knows that people like to do. And then kind of pick apart what you like out of what they said, where you can relate to them, build rapport, and deliver a good message, and then, you know, give your best pitch and try and sell something, right?
Yeah. I mean, I found that it really does relieve the whole stress of even doing, if it's a cold call, going in a cold call, not trying to be this guy and make the sale right away. Just go in there just with the thought in your mind that you want to learn their business so that you know what they need and not even think about the end game, the sale.
Right. It adds a little sincerity to your pitch. You know, it adds to the, you know, I joke around all the time with my sales guys. I'm like, dude, go out and make friends, because that's really what you're doing first. You don't want to go out and go, hey, I've got the answer to your solutions. If you're not using what I'm doing, you're going to be losing. You know, you don't want to be that schmo. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
this isn't a trick of the trade. It's just the way that it works. You know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And if you listen to some of my past sales closer trainings, you'll know that the first thing I say is to listen to what the person needs. You know, listen twice as much as speaking, and be calculated on what you talk about. So let's talk about sales psychology. Selling is truly a simple psychology. Let me explain it to you. Sales scripts are worthless. Now, when I say that, can there be sales scripts that are perfected? Yes, but when you sound like you're selling from a script, you're a dead duck in the water. Yeah. Like, you know, you've been called on. Somebody starts sounding scripty, you know, it's an insult, right? So
and don't you feel pain? You just feel pain for them because you know they just don't sound good. Yeah.
The only thing that matters in attaining a level of confidence and clarity around your message, you have to practice delivering your sales message and a simple value proposition bringing to the client. Confidence breeds success. Now, I tell my coaching students, and we work on this every day, you need to pitch yourself. You need to pitch to your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, your friend, your business partner. You need to practice your pitch constantly, so that way you sound very natural. And it's funny because the people that we deal with one-on-one in coaching, you know, they sound like, you know, they're very nervous at first, but after, there's like that click when all of a sudden they're ready. they know their product, they're ready to talk to you, they're ready to rebuttal anything they meet, and you get to that point where when you shake somebody's hand, you almost pity the fool that shakes your hand because you're going to close them down. They just don't know it yet, right? And that's the confidence that you're going to actually entail when you take sales serious. You know what I mean? So let's go to the next slide and see what. Understand the client. Everyone has a story or a product to sell. Know your audience before you open your mouth. Wow, if that ain't direct, I don't know what is. Okay. Understand when talking to somebody, hey, listen, I see you got a successful business. It looks like you're doing great. Hey, just out of curiosity, what is every roof that you put on? Like, how much money can you make off of a roof? Find out what it's worth to them. What's your average close ratio? I know national average is 20%. I mean, if you got 5 qualified leads, could you close more than 1 out of 5? Well, yes, Sid, man. We're making $2,000 a roof, and I'm a pretty good closer. I could pretty much close, 1 out of 3. Wow, that's awesome, man. So you got a 33% close ratio. So by asking them those questions, you show sincerity, you build rapport, but you also find out what your lead is worth, right? Because you're about to give them the holy grail, right? You're going to give them opportunity. So let's talk about key points real quick. Couple ways you can pitch the local lead driver. One way to do it is no upfront cost, only pay for real leads. And it's when you're selling SEO or you're selling any type of service to a client that in the next reputation, anything in the next 90 days you should start seeing a better significant improvement, and it should convert into more leads. This is something that's going to get you calls immediately. This is going to show return on investment quick. So that's what's so powerful about what we're bringing to you with this. This is something that you can hit the ground running. How many times have you closed a client on SEO? They got 6 months, 60 days into the contract, and they're not happy because they're paying money, not getting money back. Well, a lot of these businesses, correct me if I'm wrong, Val, don't have the money to wait 60 days for something to happen. They don't have time to plant a seed and water it and wait for it to happen, right? So one of the easiest ways to actually contact these contractors, for instance, is closing on the phone. They already probably are buying some sort of leads and some relevancy. They spend a large amount relative to their company size and lead gen, especially if offering a flat price per lead, no monthly fee. Here's how I would do it. I would offer it in 2 different scenarios. I would offer a 15 to 20, maybe $25 cost per lead, a 20-second minimum. If the phone conversation doesn't last 20 seconds or 40 seconds, it won't be considered a lead. I would let them expect, listen, I'm going to drive you, I'm going to use a roofer just because that's one of my major clients that I've used with Client Lead Driver. I let him know you should be expecting between 2 and 4 calls a day. That's what you're going to get. So, let him know if he's not prepared to spend, at $20 a lead, if he's not prepared to spend $40 to $80 a day, this might not be the service for him. However, I can also give you a flat rate. If you want to go with a flat rate, I can charge you $550 every month on the first, and that'll give you unlimited leads. Well, if they know that they're planning on receiving 2 to 4 leads a day, they can do quick math and know that they're getting away with, getting a better deal if they go ahead and go with a flat rate. Now, on a flat rate, I would, ask them to pay up front on a price per lead, then you would bill them on the back end, of course, right? Isn't that the way you see it, Val?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, closing on the phone, you do have a few seconds to kind of get their attention. So, you do got to kind of go into it a little bit aggressive in the beginning. You got to, say, hey, listen, I got 2 words. Tell me if this is music to your ears. Hot leads, hot opportunities. Well, tell me exactly what you got, Sid. Well, I've got a way to give everybody in your business a raise.
I love that. That's one of my favorite lines from you, Sid.
Well, the reason why is because it resonates with everybody, right? And it's a benefit. It's not a feature. It's a true benefit. So everybody relates to a benefit. Okay, I could use a raise. I'm going to give this guy 10 more seconds, right? Yeah. So then you go in and obviously start, asking some questions about their business. How many roofs are you selling a month right now? How many roofs would you like to be selling a month right now? Are you selling all the roofs that you want? You know the answer to that question, right? But it gets
Never.
them saying, yes, I want to sell more roofs, right?
Yep.
So, well, great, because I'm going to bring you the opportunity to do so. All you got to say is go. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. What is a roof worth to you? How many are you selling a month right now? How many do you want to be selling a month? You know, what's your average close ratio? If I brought you 3 more leads a day, could that help you obtain those goals that you want to hit to start off 2014 right? You know, you're asking the questions. How do you control a conversation? Everybody should know this. Be the one asking the questions, okay?
Right. I mean, and
All right,
that
let's go.
works in person and on the phone as well.
Sure, that works with talking your wife into going on a guy's trip, right?
Right.
Sometimes.
Now
Anyways,
we got the dreaded walking in.
yeah, walking.
Cold calling.
It's funny because walking in is the most uncomfortable thing to do, but it's also the quickest way to build rapport and become a friend instantaneously. You know what I mean? You can see the person's face and understand really the way they're taking what you're talking about, right? You can see their reaction to what you're saying. You can see if they're paying attention to you or actually writing an email or surfing Facebook while you're talking to them, right? So walking in is a little bit of a dreaded way to do it. However, it is highly effective. And once again, once you get confident with your sales ability and your sales pitch, you know, it's nothing but numbers to you anyway. You know, you meet that guy that's like, oh, I already got leads. I already doing well enough. I'm already selling enough roofs. I'm okay. Next. Best word in America. Next. Guy ain't for you.
Right.
Go to the next one. Don't beat yourself up, and don't waste your time on the guy that's unclosable. He's already too smart, and that's why his business is suffering, and that's why he's not doing what he wishes he was doing, because he's too smart to actually, you know, try different avenues and change, right? He's insane is what he is. But it is what it is. Walking in, best niches, let's see. With local lead driver, one of the best niches for this service is independent car lots, okay? As a lot of you know, we do what's called inventory syndication. They require a high volume of leads. They're used to receiving sales calls, and they'll almost always speak to the decision maker. You will almost speak to the decision maker. Reason why I say that, independent car lots, the owner of the car lot is there in person on the lot 90% of the time.
Right.
You walk into a new car franchise, Val, you and I both know we hit the Carolinas cold calling like crazy. You know, how many times did we hear the guy's not here?
Yeah. Well, and you talk to 5 people before you get even to hear that the guy's not there.
Right. And how many times did we hear, oh, we have an ad agency?
Right.
Ad agency covers all that. Great. Well, I'll make sure not to call your ad agency and educate them on how I'm doing this so they can then turn around and sell it to you themselves, right? So I really like independent car lots. You know, used car lots is a slang word for them, but they are called independents. My 2 biggest clients are independent lots here in Georgia. And so it's a great way to do it. They need call volume. They need leads, and this is a great medium to deliver that. And so it's kind of a no-brainer. And walking in is not that hard. You're going to make friends. Let's talk about referrals, the gold, right? The thing you should be asking every one of your current clients. Don't be embarrassed to say, hey, listen, even if you're negotiating a deal and a guy's beating you up on price and you're going to take the better deal, you're going to take their price they offered you, what's the last thing you should say? Let me ask you something. When I prove to you that this is a great opportunity that we're going to put together and we start working together, will you promise to send me 5 clients? 5 of your friends that you know that are out of your marketing area that you know can benefit from what I'm about to show you.
Ah, that's good.
Always ask for referrals. Set the sale up in the beginning, in the front.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right. I know we have on here a bullet point every time you close a client, ask for a referral. I even ask for referrals if I don't close a client. If they don't need the service or aren't interested, you can ask, do you have anybody that you know? And it always is a good icebreaker with a new prospect to call and say, you know, Joe Schmo over at blankety blank told me to give you a call. Thought you might like to see what I had.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an easier way to walk into a business, and it kind of breaks that ice immediately when you're walking in. you should be closing 80% of referrals.
Yeah,
You know,
they're awesome.
it's definitely a straight fast track to making a deal happen. What do we got on the next one? Networking groups. You know, let all your networking groups know if you have a business. Which, you know, how many times do you hear your friend going, "Man, we're doing great. We're just not closing enough deals." Well, you need more opportunities. Well, I know Sid. Sid's the guy that can get you opportunities ringing your phone. You need your phone to start ringing. You need to call Val. Val's the girl that's good for that, right? So
I
let
know people
everybody.
who, oh, sorry.
No,
I
no, no,
know
no.
people who've built their entire businesses just on going to those BNI groups, and I know they work really well, but they just get together way too early in the morning for me, like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But they are a gold mine.
Yeah, if you're not a morning person, network groups might not be your outlet there. Of course, you know, the Chamber of Commerce, they have some evening stuff. I think the Chamber of
Hmm.
Commerce is considered kind of a networking group. It's a good thing to get involved with if you have the time and the extra, if you're a social butterfly and can really work it right.
Yep.
Email marketing, truly a high volume game. You got to go by numbers. You're not going to have the same close ratio as you will with a call or a walk-in, or definitely not as a BNI group or whatever, but it's a numbers game, and it's got a low success, low response rate, but you can cover, you know, 400 people at the click of a mouse. It's
Exactly.
yeah,
And it's easy to find leads to email with things like, you know, we've got here Lead Kahuna, and there's a lot of other lead scrapers, but it's easy to get thousands and thousands of leads that you can't email. So that does work as well.
yeah. I think you should always have an email marketing campaign working at all times. I mean, it's kind of the given fruit from the tree. Not to mention when somebody gets one of your emails and calls you and says, "Hey, I like what I read," that's just a nice lead, right? It's easier to talk to that person than it is walking in going, "Hey, I know you're, you know, doing a root canal right now, but will you stop and listen to me?" Right? You know, I know you're cracking somebody's back, Mr. Chiropractor, but can you let go of him for a second and listen to this way? I can get you more people, you know.
I
So
find, you know, it's just the game is really just getting your email opened. And the more personal you can make it, the better off you are. If you can put the owner's name into the subject line, I know that's time intensive, and you're talking about when you want to send out thousands, you may not be able to do that. But if there's like a handful of clients you really want to get to, I would do them separately and have very, very interesting subject lines with their name in the subject line.
sure, it builds rapport. Now there's also email marketing platforms that'll actually, you know, you can use variable data and include that in based off the list, which might make it easier too, depending on how you scrape down your stuff. And I know Lead Kahuna is one of the best scrapers out there. Let's see what the next one is. Direct mail.
This is your thing.
Yeah, I've done direct mail for years. Once again, it's a numbers game with direct mail. There's been research that people prefer to be contacted via direct mail because they don't feel that pressure of, they don't feel like they're getting like, you know, it's not like clogging their inbox. They don't have somebody stand in front of them that they're going to have to, you know, reject right there, take away fear of rejection. And it's something that they can kind of look at, and it's a tangible piece that sits on their desk and reminds them. It almost like retargets them physically with a piece of paper sitting on their desk, right? So it's a perfect strategy, especially if you have a full-time job and you want to get people going. We put an example of the Savage Siphon. A lot of you might have heard or had used our Savage Siphon that we had a couple months ago. It was a lumpy mail email lead generation system. It worked awesome. I've got hundreds of case studies of people that have landed some of their biggest clients using exactly the direct mail system.
Yep, it's awesome. I mean, I still love to read everybody's results with that. Okay. That looks like we've gotten through everything. I hope you got some good ideas and some good tips on how you're going to close those deals that you've got out there. And make sure that you hop on over to Module 6, where we're going to talk about common objections and negotiations. And don't forget the bonus modules as well. And thanks, Sid.
Yep, absolutely. I'll see you. I think I'm going to do Module 6 with you, right?
Yep, we're going to go ahead and talk about those things. All right.
Awesome.
Talk to you
I'll
soon,
see you then.
guys.
Thank you.